How you guys doing?
Senator, when it comes to sanctuary state policies, obviously we know what a disaster it's been for New Jersey. You were one of the first ones to say you want to rescind that immediately upon taking office. Should you become governor, how quick will that happen?
That would happen on day one. I would rescind the Governor Murphy's sanctuary state policies. And I want to reiterate, I agree with Bill on, I think every person who was in a medical field or whether a correction officer who lost their job, because Governor Murphy put out so many EOs that it, based under COVID, that it took away these people's jobs. I think they should get full reinstatement, just like President Trump reinstated the military and gave them all back pay. I would do the same thing.
What is your property tax plan?
So, I have a plan for, my plan is to eliminate, ultimately lower the sales tax, eliminate the sales tax altogether. Then we are going to address the rest of the taxes. Because why the sales tax, people ask? All of us feel the sales tax. Millionaire doesn't feel a sales tax, and people on welfare don't feel the sales tax, but you and I, who have to deal with it every day, feel that sales tax. So let's get rid of that, and then we'll work on the next one. But we got to work on all the taxes. You saw up here on the stage how a couple of them already said, yeah, there are some taxes we can add. No, we don't need to add taxes. We need to take taxes away. We are the most taxed state. People are getting crippled in this state.
So
I'll get you next.
Sure.
Out of everyone else on the stage tonight, you have lagged in fundraising by far. What's your response to people who question whether your campaign is viable right now?
Look, my campaign is a volunteer campaign. We brought on recently a professional fundraising consultant, and we are going to continue to raise the money that we need to raise to get our message out. We're going to get our message out. Whether I make the elected 580 or whatever, that's going to be up to the people, and they can go to edthetrucker.com. But, it's not about money. Campaigns shouldn't be about money. It should be about the people. And that's what I'm here. I'm here serving the people.
At what point do you feel like you would be comfortable getting out of this race if you couldn't get?
I'm not getting out of the race.
So you're going to stay this until June, no matter what.
I'm not getting out of the race. I beat the Senate president on $10,000. Regardless of what other people say, I beat the Senate president, not Jack, not the GOP. They want to take credit for it, but I did it. I went out there and knocked doors. And I shouldn't say just I. Myself and a bunch of volunteers. We went out and knocked doors, thousands of doors, and we earned that victory. Jack goes and talks about his coattails, but we did it. Myself, Commissioner Conwell, Commissioner DeSilvio, Sheriff Sammons, we went out there and knocked the doors.
Does the bill by the state legislature limit requiring a larger amount of signatures to get on the ballot? Does that hurt your efforts to get on the ballot?
No, I'm going to get the signatures, but I think it should be questioned. How can a legislature go and throw in a new rule change in the middle of a process? So I think that should be questioned, but we're going to get our signatures.
If you don't win the Republican primary, will you endorse the nominee, whoever it is?
Regardless of what comes out in June, Republicans need to win come November. We need to win. This state has been under a Democrat rule for too long, and you see what it's happening. As President Trump said, what do you have to lose by going the other way? What do you got to lose? It certainly isn't going to get better if you continue the same.
Senator, a couple of the Scutari and a couple other lawmakers have talked about consolidating watchdogs. I don't know how you feel about that as an anti-establishment candidate. Like they finished it tonight. They want a CI, the comptroller's office, to merge. Do you think that New Jersey has too many watchdogs?
I think that New Jersey has a bloated government. We have too much. The problem with people is they're not. I shouldn't say the problem with people. I should say the problem is that people are not. They believe that the government is the ruler. That the federal, then the state, and then the people, or the local, and then the people. It's the other way around. The people gave the power to the government, and we need to take the power back. The power shouldn't be in the state government. I want to make the state government so small that you don't know it exists. That's what I want to do. You don't need me telling you what kind of car you need to own or what kind of heater you have or how much you should spend or whether you can smoke in your house or smoke outside. That's up to you.
Get rid of the watchdogs. Last question.
What's that?
If there's all that much corruption, you want to get rid of the watchdogs.
I will have somebody go after the corruption. My lieutenant governor will watchdog the corruption, and we will have the state police.
Can you clarify your stance on executive orders and when you think they're okay and when you're not a fan of them?
I think there is a need for executive orders, but I also think that we already have a governor ruling by fiat, and we don't want another governor ruling that way. We have to get back to ruling by the way it was meant, through the legislature, the people's choice, the legislatures, and then the governor, and you come to a consensus and a compromise, and you rule that way. But now, there's going to be certain things that are going to have to be done day one. Like I said, sanctuary state. But I want to work with the legislature. And I've been there, and I had a good relationship with many
But
Democrats.
how do you draw the line where it is something that needs an executive order?
Well, when it's best for the people, it's going to have to get done. Like, I think bail reform is one of the first things that is a problem. We have criminals walking the streets that should be in jail. So we got to have to end that policy.
So you would do that with an executive order as well?
I think the bail reform, I think the executive order for sanctuary state that gives benefits to all illegals needs to be ended day one.
Thank you.
And all that is reversing Governor Murphy's executive orders. It's not me making new ones, it's me ending old ones.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Go to trucker.com.